מושג, מארח.
Status, I need something sweet. I need something sweet to raise up again.
Your tactical briefing, like the tactical meetings, are too short. Just 1 hour.
No. Eran always told me, don't change me. Let me inside. I must break this record.
Oh, you're really good at it.
No, this isn't. Believe me, this is.
It's like the best of Mozart.
It's similar to the anthem of Austria. And Eran said, please, really, I want to wait and to come in October. Yes, because I think it's better. And I said, you're coming now or not?
What was your happiest moment in Israel? This 5-2 against Austria, or when you got to Mea Shearim in Shabbat and everybody say hi, and that's what you thought?
No. How should I answer? It was some weeks ago, yeah, when my daughter said,
Let's go to Jerusalem.
Father, you are becoming grandfather.
Okay.
Yes.
That's first. Mazal tov. First, you know what's Mazal tov.
Yeah,
congratulations.
Yeah. Thank
you. Okay. And then you went to Mea Shearim.
No, it was really after, I would say, 2 weeks here.
Okay. Yeah.
And you learn, but you know nothing. You know nothing. And I was very excited to come here and to go first time to Jerusalem. Yeah? And I think it was my second weekend being here alone. Took my car, driving, not knowing what's going on Shabbat, to Jerusalem, and exactly in this district. Yeah? So I was wondering that no more cars are driving there. Yes, and then I thought, they are very nice here.
Yeah, they say hi.
Yeah. But then I recognized that I was driving outside. No, driving outside as fast as possible. Yeah. And I remember also the next day, I spoke to Alon Hassan because he was always a person for me. He told me and teach me a lot about Israel. And he said, what did you do? You drove with the car? Are you totally stupid? They can keep stones on you.
Yes.
I said, yeah, I recognized it. Yeah?
But you hear. But you hear.
Yeah.
One of the players asked me that he needs deodorant, but they don't let him buy in the duty free nothing. What's the deal with the duty free?
Yeah.
Deodorant.
No, I must say.
After say.
I said to him,
chocolate.
You can buy it whenever you want, but not during the national
duty
team.
free.
No. What we changed also is, and I'm proud of this, I think now the organization, the travels, also the habit at the airport is very professional. And we have here, when the players are coming, not the time for shopping. We should concentrate on our tasks, on our games. And it's not in this way that we waste energy.
On buying deodorant?
Yeah, you can do it during the week. Yeah, you must not do when we are together with the national team. I think the player appreciate that we are doing very professional with the check-in, with a area where we can stay and wait for the departure, and also with the charter machines. It's really similar to top nations we are doing now.
This week, 20 years ago,
Yes.
Remember what happened?
20 years ago. No.
Tragical moment, horrible moment.
In my life or in your life?
In the national team.
In the national
life.
team? What?
Andy Herzog put the ball 18 meters in front of Dudu Awad goal.
Yes.
הרצוג אל הכדור, בועט, פנימה! זה הולך פנימה! הלם באצטדיון רמת גן!
Remember that moment? Where have you been
I think
that day?
I think we saw it in TV because we played the day before in the under 21 against Israel also. Yeah. Yeah,
You
I
were
was
happy.
here.
You were happy after that.
Yes, yes, yes. But then you know the story. The playoff was coming up against Turkey, and it was the end of the story.
But when you say to the people here, the decision makers, I want to bring Andy Herzog,
Yeah.
the nomination of Herzog. They didn't tell you, are you crazy? This is the guy that ruined us.
In Israel, they often told me I'm crazy. Yeah. No, but I think we did it in a very, very professional procedure. I think first time we did a profile of a national team coach. Which profile should the national team coach have? Because I said, if we say we ask now Arsene Wenger to train national team of Israel, he will not do it. So we did a professional profile. For this profile, I selected about 10 coaches. And then I give also my opinion, number 1, number 2, number 3. And this was a discussion inside, a good discussion from all perspectives. And at the end, we choose together Andy Herzog.
I want to show you that, and this is really good training. And I also saw you score a goal.
This was, as you said, an emotional and special moment with person with handicaps.
Yeah.
And we tried to do it, and they said also, Wisely, do you want also to try
Wow.
it? And how
Impressive.
difficult. And
Impressive.
No, it's not impressive. They are doing much, much better. But if you feel it, how difficult it is, for example, here. You think, how can I shoot? And I used immediately the second leg. Yeah? So it was a disappointing shot. But great respect to these people.
By the way, which holiday you like the most in Israel?
No,
Rosh Hashanah.
I was very impressed from Yom Kippur because I have never seen the streets totally empty. They told me here about this day, but also I recognized it in Vienna when almost the whole team was in the synagogue, and the whole procedure over this day impressed me most.
Conference in Eilat. You have to choose one Israeli coach, league coach, that you can be with him one weekend, nice guy, and maybe to learn from him something.
If you mean that I have the possibility to be with one person,
Israeli
he was
coach.
Israeli. It was not an. Can it be also an Israeli person? I take the sports minister.
Yeah, Chili?
The sports minister, and I would explain him and ask him for the future of Israel football, because I think so many really inputs, contents, the program with the Israeli way, the foundation of the academy in Michmoret, the new kids football in Israel, and also the playing philosophy of youth teams. So many steps the association did in the last years. But what I know from our country, from countries as it is Switzerland, Belgium, Denmark, yes, really countries coming up till Belgium, as it is Belgium, number 1 of the world. It's not possible without really a fundamental help of the government. And this help of the government is here necessary because everybody sees what the association is doing. But they need the help for infrastructure, for pitches, and for special programs. And then I'm absolutely sure that Israel is coming up and will be at World Cups and European Championships. I would say Israel had wonderful talents out of, we call it always, street football. The street football doesn't exist anymore because of school, because of our cell phones and the TV, etc. And here all countries did the steps for developing talent development structures. You can call it development centers, you can call it football academies. And this help is not done without government money. And I think it's a good money to give for the future of football in the country.
So another 2 years for Wisely will get us to the next Euro?
I think it's not Wisely or not Wisely. I think it's in this way a process of the national team. I think it's going on. The next step is that young players are coming up to the national team, and here one fundamental step is necessary, that these young players play in top leagues. And if I ask you, where is our goalkeeper in top leagues? Where is our defender in top leagues? Where are our midfielders and strikers? Everybody says, okay, we have wonderful players in offense. We do not have, till now, a defender in a top league.
Excuse me, top league for me,
yes,
it's England, Spain, Germany,
France,
Italy,
I would say France.
Wait.
Yeah.
Dor Peretz in Venezia, but he's not influence on his team like Berkovic was, Benayoun, Revivo,
Not
even
now.
Munas Dabu. Munas Dabu is playing in Hoffenheim. He's now not in the lineup in the first 11, but he's a good example. But we are still missing the top players in the top leagues like before, like we did before. Why?
It's very simple. It's always, you need about 10 to 15 years to educate, and then you have 10 or 15 years where the players are playing. This is very simple. Let me say it in this way. If we have a young player now in Spezia, in Italy, Zuf, he is now in a situation being on the bench but not playing, coming inside, playing 10 minutes, 15 minutes. What is the future? It's a future that he can perform on this level or not. If these young players coming to these clubs can perform, we will have in the future a top national team. As it was in this time, as you said, when Berkovic was coming back, when Tal Benaim, when Yossi Benayoun, coming from top clubs and perform in the national team.
Every coach that did a great job in one campaign wants to go on to the next one. So your expectations to go to the next one?
My expectations is now Austria abroad and at home Faroe Island. I want to do 2 good games and then I evaluate my campaign. And this evaluation I will do together with the association. And then you know there are 2 possibilities. You say you finish this or you go forward.
By the way, our captain, Bivas,
yes,
a great player.
Great player.
A lot of experts in Israel said you're like believing him and not giving maybe some other players maybe in better shape to start.
I agree totally. It's an amazing personality. A person who did over a decade so many games for Israel on highest level. You must not forget he plays now in Partizan Belgrade, first place now, in an excellent position. And he's doing also with this coach very clever because he knows his body, he knows his performance. He knows also that he cannot play 3 games per week. They are doing very clever in Partizan, and my agreement with him is total open-minded. I am from the beginning together with him as a sports director and now as a coach. He knows exactly about his career. He knows exactly what it is to do. He knows exactly when he has to say it's finished or when he says I go forward. You can count on him. He always brought his performance. If you have more players as Pipras Natko, you are on a really wonderful side.
What do you think about the level of the Israeli coach, generally?
Difficult for me to speak about the coach. There I must see his training, I must see his meetings, I must be beside him. But what I saw here in analyzing in coach education, I proposed to the board of the association, we must make here a change. Because if we go forward in the UEFA convention, we must try to improve our level. And in my time, I did it immediately, starting with a new C license. And the pro license I did by myself. I know if you speak to the candidates, they will criticize. But after having the pro license, they will say, it was a good education. We did it in the same way as, for example, you spoke from Toni Polster, but you can also speak from Adi Hütter, from Hasenhüttl, from Stöger. Marco Rose did in Germany, he was not in Austria, but again, Oliver Glasner, who is coach now in Frankfurt.
Right.
These are coaches with international career and they did the same education. So I think it was a big step, a new standard, but it was necessary.
Your best moment in Israel, like when it will end, in 3 years, 4 years, one emotional moment, one experience that you will remember the most?
This is very simple. It was together with my wife, and it's a religious moment. I was in front of the Austrian game. I was in Jerusalem because it was the day, the wedding day of my wife and me, 30 years. So we drove to Jerusalem. There is a hospiz, it's an Austrian house, and here you can eat Apfelstrudel and Schnitzel and coffee. And we were sitting in this house, and I said to the waiter, I said, it was very friendly because they welcomed us, and I said, is the church open now? And he said, yes, of course. And I said to my wife, let's go, because I think, you know, this is our Church of Sculpture, and here there is a small chapel inside, and the chapel is the place where they took down Jesus Christ from the cross, and he was lying there. Normally, if it is with tourists, it's always you go inside and the person is shouting on you, please go out, the next one, the next one, the next one, the next one. And in this moment, we went there and I said to my wife, there is nobody here. So on this day, I had a short. And normally with a short, you are not allowed to go in.
Exactly.
We were standing there and he said, yes, it's open, you can go inside, but you with a short, you're not allowed. So I think he was looking at me, and I was so disappointed that he touched me and said, go inside. So he allowed in this moment, and I was together on the 30th wedding day with my wife about 20 minutes, alone inside and going outside. And this is for a Christian a specific moment.
And you immediately wrote in your WhatsApp team, the WhatsApp group?
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
I didn't.
But I heard it's like, what's the name of the group? Of the WhatsApp group, the family?
No, but yeah, it's unbelievable what you know. It's unbelievable because you must know my elder daughter did a name for the WhatsApp group 1 year before I was coming to Israel. Okay. And the name is Ohana.
Ohana!
And I was coming, and Eli Ohana said, and I remember there as a player, and we spoke together, and I told him one time, but my daughter is not knowing Eli Ohana. I did not know him, but it was happening. But
why Ohana?
I don't know. You must ask my daughter.
What is there in Austria that will never can be in Israel?
Nothing. What can we have in Austria what you cannot do in Israel?
Maybe polite people.
No.
Maybe,
No. I think I spoke often about this when we have been in the world ranking in football 110. We created an Austrian way, and the best was now in 2016 the position 10 of the world. So from 110 to 10, and this is also possible here. I'm absolutely sure. If you want, if the Israeli wants, if you stay together and you want to perform, you will do it.
Yes, we can.
Yes, you can. Yeah. Here you have two things. I'm very impressed about this. you can ask every Israeli, and he gives you the answer. We have the strongest army of the world.
That's right.
You do not have it, but every person has an
Sure about
opinion, is sure about it. And I said it often inside, if we can create that our football is coming up with this heart and with this performance and with this attitude, I'm absolutely sure the Israeli football is going up to this vision, top 30 in the world.
Wow. Yes, we can also in football.
We can. Thank you. Thank you.